been done with regards to attracting foreign direct investments, opening up business opportunities, is also being hampered. So that brings me to the first acronym that I talked about in my initial C, which I talked about, security. Let us talk about the state of security in our state. Security, there is no state or there is no country in this world that does not have issues of crime and criminalities. But there was a time when our state, Imo State, was considered one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria, such that every other state around, people leave other states and come to Owerri to come and enjoy themselves. It even got to a point where we were ridiculed that Owerri is just about hotels. But it's because there was a booming hospitality industry, because people were coming here because they know they could do whatever they wanted to do in a very peaceful environment. That nobody cares. Something happened. The issue of security and what led to the state where Imo State, among the 5 eastern states, is now considered one of the most dangerous states, is because, one, there is an ongoing agitation by our people, which has unfortunately pouring into Imo State and making it further insecure. Then that brings us to the next question. Why is it persisting? 2 theoretical arguments can be said. The first theoretical argument, which has been founded, is that sometimes whenever you see insecurity at the level that we see today, continuing in a place for a very, very long time, when you look into it very well, a higher authority has a hand in it and is benefiting from it. In fact, it has been said that a former president of this country, late Abacha, said that if insurgency continues for more than one day, that the government is involved, right? I rest my case on that one. The second argument could be that perhaps the authorities of the day are being overwhelmed. So we're going to profile some solutions and say, hey, somebody says, Mazi, if you're in charge, what will you do differently? So what I will do differently is this. First of all, I would call for a real reconciliation, akin to what happened in South Africa, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Let's come and talk to ourselves. Let's ask our brothers. If you are agitating for the marginalization of Ndi Igbo, why must our fellow Igbo brothers pay with it with their blood? If indeed that is what you're agitating for. By the time we have such honest conversations, we'll look at people that has been, some people that have been victimized illegally. We may not bring back the dead, but the government, where you need to apologize, you apologize. Where you need to make compensation, you make compensation. But after that, you draw the line. I will call for amnesty for our brothers who are in the bush and say, brothers, come back home. Let us find a different way to do this thing. After all, there will be time for praise singing, ma'am. There'll be time for praise singing. No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. We're getting started. After all, our brother who is incarcerated, and I want to use this forum on live TV to appeal to the authorities, especially President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. Unconditionally. If this call is going to bring an end to my ambition, then so be it. free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, so that we can start there. We will then appeal and say, hey, even Nnamdi Kanu himself have said nobody should shed any blood. So why are you shedding blood? Once we achieve that, the next thing we're going to do is to now draw the line and say, after this day, any other thing done is a criminal act, and the state will take it very seriously. I will work with federal authorities to get a unit well-trained and well-funded with the latest technological gadgets that will be deployed. I don't understand the concept of leaving people, soldiers and policemen on the streets, threatening and abusing our youths. When you have gadgets that can find out, even the drone system, that can find out where these criminals are, no matter where they are. I forgot to mention that another dimension has been added to this criminality apart from this that I mentioned. As I talk to you, women in the naked, Okigwe, cannot even go to their farms because criminal herders have taken over the bush. So cows have now become more important than lives. And yet, people sleep and behave as if nothing is happening. There are gadgets that can find out where these people are, fish them out, and deal with them with the long and short arms of the law. I assure you that when you use the gadgets, with the support of the federal center, and with the support of the communities, we will empower the communities. If you are waiting for police to come and rescue you, that is nonsense. We will empower our people to be able to defend themselves as the first line of defense. And we will make our bushes safe again for our women to go back to their farms. You know, when it comes to issues of security, in public, we will leave it there. I have addressed S, security. Let's talk about economy. There was a time when the East was described as the fastest growing economy in the world, the Eastern region. What did they do? Those before us, the Canibians, the Michael Operas, the Simon Bakwes, took a deliberate policy of industrialization. Now, I want to state here, before I go on, that as a political economist, that I am not of the liberal capitalist thoughts or ideology. My economic ideology is what I call here states development. Please take note, capitalism. State development capitalism. You know, some, economists, the Bretton Woods institution economists will tell you government has no business in business. Remember that, you know that? The government should leave the markets. That's nonsense. Because even the markets itself, the regulatory framework itself, the rules itself were developed by, even the money you use was developed by government. Why then will you say the government has no business in business? Why was it possible that during the financial crisis that the government had to intervene? The concept of the unseen hands in capitalism is total nonsense. Government must, as a necessity, be involved in what happens in the markets. And this state development capitalism says that government, especially in late capitalist economies like ours, late developing economies, the government must take this first step in development. And that was what the Michael Operas did by setting up industries everywhere. And it was thriving until some people came in, vagabonds came into power and destroyed everything. I want to show you pictures on the screen of the state of some of these industries. Let me explain to you why these industries are important. Do we know that in Imo State alone, there are 107 industries they are moribund. These were things that were bequeathed to us by our forebears. I'm going to talk about 5 alone and show us how, if this 5, only 5 of it is developed, it can increase internally generated revenue from what is it right now, it's about 20-something billion, to 130 billion in 1 year. I am not pulling figures from out of the skies. The Avutu poultry farm, for example, when it was at full capacity, was producing over 200,000 eggs. It was described as the biggest poultry farm in West Africa. Then it had some of the best equipment that you could think of. This is the state of the poultry farm now. And you know what? Equivalent poultry farms like Olam farms, Obasanjo farms, are generating 15 billion naira annually in revenue. Equivalent farms. So, if today this is revitalized through a deliberate state policy of industrialization, and you say that, first of all, our market is local and international. Local in the sense that the current government, federal government, is doing a homegrown school feeding program of 1 egg a week. If you work with the government at 1 egg a week, at that 200, you can make at least 2 billion naira monthly from just that program. Many of us have traveled abroad, right? When you go to grocery shops, what do you see in grocery shops? When you see eggs, they tell you free range, right? You know, because they are moving towards, organic. They want their eggs to be laid, not in cages anymore. What if we align the Avutu poultry farm, because the land is there, to now start laying free-range eggs, and use the instrument of the airport, our airport, which is an international cargo airport, to be exporting? That means we also have an international market, right? That alone can give us foreign exchange and can increase, if you are selling free-range eggs and also free-range poultry, open range or free range. Avutu poultry farm alone can employ at least 3,000 of our youths directly. Indirectly, you have other spin-offs. For example, when we bring in an integrated system where we encourage locals to plant maize to feed the feed meal. This poultry farm can generate at least 10 billion naira annually for the state. That is already half of the current internally generated revenue. Let us go to the other one, the other palm, which is sad. Let me show you the state of the other palm right now. Look at the state of the other palm as at 2025, just last week when we got these pictures. This other palm that used to have a production capacity of 16,000 tons, that countries like Malaysia are driving the economy through palm products. That in our own country, a company known as Okomu Oil has over 100 billion naira in capital, base through this. Presco Oil. And yet, this is what we have. A serious state. Something that was given to us by our forebears. If you develop the other palm and bring in improved seedlings and let it become operational, other palm alone can give you annually 50 billion naira and can employ about 6,000 of our youths. Direct employment. I don't want to talk about spin-off industries like vegetable oil industries and other industries. Let us go to the shoe factory. This is the state of the shoe factory, closed down. At a point, this shoe factory was employing 10,000 Imo indigenes. 10,000. At a point, it was producing shoes for exports and the shoes that were worn by our military service. What if we go to Mr. President and say, Mr. President, our shoe company has come back to stream. Please, instead of importing shoes for the police, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, all the paramilitaries, let us work and let us be producing it. That way you save foreign exchange that you used to import and we can give you discount. That alone can give us at least 6 billion naira annually, just within partnership between you and the federal government. Now imagine the market, and I'm not saying anything, the Abashu cluster just behind us, the Abashu cluster, makes 15 billion naira annually from exporting shoes within the West African sub-region. The West African sub-region is a market of over 300 million. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to put it to you that this our shoe factory, if it comes back on stream, can put on the table over 30 billion naira annually. But yet, this is what it is. Do you want me to talk about the albino extrusion? Do you want me to tell you also about the other factory that have been left? These can give us 130 billion. But rather than governments, successive governments, thinking about how to reindustrialize our states as a way to generate revenue, our governments have become thugs, chasing market women and bus drivers over revenue in the markets. That's a sign of a government that's not thinking. Boss from the revenue. When you have gold mines, legacy industries, you don't have to open new ones. They are there for you. Someone say, but doctor, why, if you open it now, what makes you think that it will not go the way? What destroyed it the first time was corruption, was politicians. Government should not have a right. That brings me back to this thing I wrote here, state development capitalism. The first core of state development capitalism for you to work properly is that there must be zero corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, if I tell you that I will run a government that is based on zero corruption, take it from me. If you put any Google thing, Google, you have your phones, Google it, and you see anything that has to do with corruption to my name, tell me now, I'll step down from here and live here. I have run my businesses without any scandals, without involving myself in anything that is criminally minded. So if I tell you that we can institute a policy that will bring corruption to the barest minimum, take my word for it. But beyond that, what we intend to do is also that we're going to revitalize this thing and bring some of the best brains to come and run it. So it is no longer that time when, after we revitalize it, I look at my uncle with his big tummy that doesn't know anything about running an oil palm industry and tell him to go and be the managing director. Rest assured that company will fold the next week. Am I right? Because you are the only one I can get away with. So we get some of the best people that have excelled in every aspect of business. They may be Imo indigenes, wherever they are anywhere in the world, we'll go and meet them. But even if they're not Imo indigenes, we'll find them. But most important thing is to get it running. So it will be government owned, but run professionally like a business. Do you understand the difference? Government owned, but professionally run. Somebody said, doctor, where has it been done before? That big company you call CCECC, Chinese company, is owned by the Chinese government. Government owned, but run professionally as a business. And you see the wonders that CCECC is doing, isn't it? So what I'm saying is not just some theory of some, these things have been implemented and done. It was done in Singapore with a different model. It was, you've heard about the Asian tigers? That is the state development, capitalism. The reality is every country must find a formula that works for it. You must not be dependent on the IMF World Bank nonsense that has never worked anywhere and will not work again anywhere. Those things were designed to perpetuate Africans to become complete exporters of raw materials. Why the finished products values is added and brought back to you. It will never work. Take my word for it. I know what I'm saying. So we must find our homegrown economic policy that will work for us, that will get our youths working again. The current industry that is working for our youths now is now Yahoo Yahoo. Our children are now in different homes. The best gift you can give to our young people now is now a laptop and a phone. If industries are working and people are gainfully employed, you think they will have time to be being chased around by EFCC? They will rather go and earn good living than be doing nonsense. So like I said, just out of 107, just 5 can pour 130 billion in our coffers. Imagine if we are getting this much money. Our Commissioner of Finance does not need to worry whether Abuja has sent money or not. Do you guys remember what happened in Rivers State recently? When the government seized the allocation, the governor said something. Don't worry, we can pay our... Because the internal generated revenue is enough. Can you threaten the governor of Lagos that you are seizing this federal allocation? You go to... Our president did it. He called the bluff of President Obasanjo because the internal generated revenue is enough. That can be done in the Eastern Heartland. All you need is people who are thinking. We'll leave that and go to education. Education is a paradox. What I'm going to tell you now, some people might argue. You see, there's one adage we have. What we have in the educational system in Imo State is what I call a deodorant effect. Rather than shower, you just apply deodorant. Let me explain what I mean. On paper, Imo State is the most literate state in Nigeria with 96.8% literacy level. Let's clap hands for Imo State. I might say, but Mazi, if that is the case, why are we talking education? I will tell you what we're saying. You see, the problem is, that's where the paradox starts. Because we are so literate, and also, let me also say something good for the government here. We also have the lowest level of out-of-school children at 1.1%. Another round of applause for our state government. Let's give them 1.1%. But the numbers belie the rot in the educational system, especially public education. Let me explain to you. How many people know that for 2 years our children could not take common entrance? That is where we now start the story. The story takes off from there. Virtually everybody here who is from maybe 35 years and above is a beneficiary of the public institution system of education, right? Our great father here, professor, and everybody here went to one public school or the other. I went to a community primary school in my village. And then we had good, solid teachers and all that. As I speak to you today, please, ladies and gentlemen, Take a trip back to the same community primary school you went to back in the village. If you see one block still standing, call me a liar. Most of these blocks are still, those that you see standing, are still relics from the colonial era. Many of them have fallen, many of them overgrown by bush, many of them don't even have teachers. In fact, the one in my community has only one headmaster, no teacher. No teacher. When you go to some schools, in secondary schools in Imo State, the teachers come to, they have turned the staff rooms into markets. Why? They come, sit down, he's selling crayfish, he's selling this thing. Am I right? Because they need to augment their salaries. And so, what have parents done? Parents entered into a conversation with their feet. No parent will want the child to be a recipient of that kind of knowledge. And so what you now see is the over-proliferation of both standard and substandard private schools. And most of our parents have taken their children into those schools. They have taken into those schools. Collapse. As I speak to us, there has not been recruitment of new teachers in the civil service in the last 5 years. As I speak to us, remember the topic of, I will say, before Imo is left behind. Go to the states around us. Enugu, for example. Enugu is developing what we call smart schools. You need to go and see these smart schools. Oh my God, you need to go and see these smart schools. Complete with everything. State of the art. Each of them is being built with 550 million naira. And they are putting it in every ward in the state. Do we know that in the whole state, in Imo State, there's only 2 libraries for basic and secondary education standing? And according to the last count, only 1 laboratory, science laboratory, is fully functional. Is it not a shame that the most literate state, that the government of the most literate state demolished its state library and put a church inside there? So, well, Karl Marx said that religion is the opium of the masses. You thought he didn't know what he was saying? But do you know what is even more ironical? Is that for anything to work, whether to get security or criminalities to reduce or the economy to grow, the bedrock is education. The bedrock is education. But then I ask, why would you expect anything less or anything different? When we put it is well. What I'm just trying to say is that these things can be averted if people who appreciate the quality of education are the ones that are handling the policy and management of education. And I don't think that anybody is better than me with 9 degrees to know how to run education. Don't you think so? Because I've seen it all. I've never been to a private school. I started in a community school. I've been to some of the best schools in the world. I know how it is run. Perhaps maybe those doing it have not been able to see how, but I know how it is run. And so if I tell you that we are going to bring back the past glory of education to make Imo State take back its primacy in education, believe me that I know what I'm talking about. Believe me, because the Bible says, by their works, you shall know them. Come on. 9 degrees, and I don't know what to do. Something, maybe if I say I know what to do about turning around the economic fortunes of the state, I think I know what I'm talking about. My name, apart from Amadi being a very popular surname in Igbo land, if I tell you that my father's name is Salati, not many of you must have heard about it. Like I said, I was born in a tiny village called Umekune. There's no road there, by the way. No lights. But I rose up to setting up companies from scratch. If any of you ate Oboroko today, perhaps it's my company that imported it to you. And if I say I know how to create wealth and get people working again, I think I know what to do. Let me tell us a story with this woman. I'll call her X. I'll reveal her identity later. X is a woman. She stopped at primary 3. Primary 3, when we used to have standard 3. She was taught how to read and write by her husband. Okay? Lived with her husband for 50 years, and the husband died. After the husband died, nothing to do. You know what happened? They set up, the son said, if we leave this woman alone, loneliness will kill her, and she will die. So the son set up a small oil palm for her, just for her to be going and coming. And decided, okay, let me just help my mother to run this thing. And then they were doing it. And guess what? One year, the son came back. And when he was about to go back to where he's based, the old woman came and said, my son, I know you have spent a lot of money. She brought out a very big wrapper, opened it, and poured out all kinds of mangoed notes. He said, this is 1 million profit I have made from that business you set up for me. That person is my mother. If my mother can guide her and I say, Mom, really? From that thing, says, okay, let's get this in right. Today, my mother is exporting oil to the UK. Like young people say, it's not church or chore. I did it. If I can do it at that level, we can replicate it in the States. We can get our women. That is why when I won't go out, I'm particularly focused on women. The Bible says the women are a mighty army. And let me warn us here. Election is coming. People will come to you and come and tell you stories. Please ask questions. People will come, they will bamboozle you, they will tell you all kinds of things about how they are going to turn the economy around. What you don't have, can't give. Ask questions. This person is coming with millions. Listen, let me break a news to you. There is no billionaire in the world that is rated on Forbes list of rich people that is not selling something. He's a trader. Bill Gates is selling what? Software, right? Elon Musk is selling motor. And he's selling something, isn't he? I think he's selling a Tesla and the rest of them, right? Am I right? Am I saying something? He's selling cars, he's selling stuff. Warren Buffett is trading in the stock market and all that. Mention any billionaire, I will tell you what they are selling. It is only in our climb where you have billionaires that are not selling anything. They don't have any shop anywhere. They don't have any businesses anywhere. The only business they have is that in 1990 he was councillor. Then later he now became local government chairman. Then after that he now became commissioner of this. Then after he now became honorable this. Then after that, that is the only business. Business is a going concern. Business is a going concern for them. So what we have is a country where politics and government is the one rehabilitating politicians. You see a politician that is broke, dead broke. In fact, his friends were contributing money for him to even go to Abuja and come back. He wins an election, all of a sudden, no holiday. He's now in long convoys. And yet, he will bring rice to you. He will bring this to you, and you people will say, what is that song known as? Agije. Come on. And then you take your collective patrimony, you take the finances of the state, and you hand over to them, and you think they will do a magic. Come on now. Who is lying to who? Your money will become their piggy bank. Will become their piggy bank. What I'm just saying is, this time we ask questions. What are you selling? What are you doing? Who are your classmates? Who are your... Ask questions. That's what we're saying. Ask questions. The reason why I'm saying this is because Nigeria is moving fast. And only states that are prepared will move with it. If you are not prepared, Nigeria will leave you behind. I want to show you how doing the right thing can even impact on the people without even you doing anything. You see, we have a system where everybody is looking up to government. Come and give me money. I want to show you something on this board. I'll clean this here, please. Raise it up, please. Thank you. This guy. Here, the duster here. Let's do this mass together, please, ladies and gentlemen. And let me show you how. Now, let us use education as an example. I want to show you how revitalizing just the educational system can put at least 600,000 naira in the average family's pockets annually. You think it's possible? Let me show you. Let us agree that the average family now that have taken their children, one child now, to private school. How much is the cheapest private school? Tell me. 70,000 per term? Per term, right? So 70,000 times 3 will give you what? 210. This is for a man that just newly married that has just one child. Some have like 6. So this is 210,000, right? Imagine if we get the public education system working again. And parents have confidence, teachers are there. Let us assume we rekindle, or if we don't get better than what Enugu does, we do what Enugu is doing, and they feel safe to bring their children. This family will save 210,000 by withdrawing their children from private school and taking them to public school. Now, imagine if we say, we're going to put libraries well equipped in all these schools and textbooks, 45,000, and we save textbooks. So 45,000 for textbooks. That gives us 255,000 that this family does not need to buy. And like I'm thinking, because that is what I intend to do, I intend to have buses all over Imo State conveying our children to and from school. We will not give kidnappers opportunity to kidnap our children again because they are seeing them on the road. So if your child is not at the bus stop at that time, we'll ask the mother question and the father, so why is he not in child? Because being the buses. So how much do you think will be transportation saved? 60,000 per month? Per term? 60,000. So this family is saving 315,000. Right? Are we comfortable so far? This is not magic, okay? Good. Imagine if, and I say this with all humility, recently it was discovered that a family in Mbise had, that their children had kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is protein energy malnutrition. Okay? Imagine if we do a fast one and we say twice a week we will feed our children. We'll talk to, I'll make an arrangement with our now working Avotu poultry farm and collect some eggs from there and be putting, even if it's 2 eggs per 2 days, that poultry malnutrition will not be there. So if a parent knows that at least twice a week, he doesn't have to pay or do breakfast for the child, how much do you think he will save twice a week? So we're looking at how much do you think twice a week? 8,000? 6,000? 6,000 per week? 6,000 per week? So let's say for the year, let's just say for ease of calculation, let's just say the family saves 100,000 a year. Is that okay? Is that okay? 100,000. That takes us to 415,000. We're almost there. Imagine if we say, you know what? Free education must be free in its totality. School uniforms, like we benefited, we are going to provide it. How much do you think we'll save if we provide school uniform for our children? 50,000 per child, okay? Good. So for twice a year, that's 100, oh yeah? Am I right? Okay, 50,000, all right. 50,000. This is 5, 6, 4. 465,000. Now imagine again that our shoe factory is now working very, very well. Working very, very well, and the MD comes to the office of the governor and says, Your Excellency, we like what you're doing. As part of our corporate social responsibility, we want to donate shoes to the students. And I say, thank you. How much are we going to save from shoes? 10,000. Each child. We're talking about one child now. 10,000. This is 475,000. Let's imagine again. Let us imagine again that for the purpose of this, that we abolish every levy that they collect in one guise or the other. No WAEC fee. Don't worry, God, Jesus is taking control. No WAEC fee, no nothing. No common entrance fee. How much would you save? Let's just round it off to 25,000. How much? 50,000. How much? 150. 150,000. 2, 5, 6. Ladies and gentlemen, by making the public education system to work, one family with one child alone can save 675,000 naira in their pockets. And if they have 2, imagine what that amount can do for each family in Imo State. Imagine the kind of businesses that they can do if they want to do businesses. Imagine the kind of things that they can do, the quality of life that will change for this family. This is not a joke. I asked that this thing be televised live so that you put me on record. So that if we don't do what we say we will do, you bring the record and show us. We are men of honor. My people, I'm not a politician. I do not claim to be one. I'm not even perfect. Neither do I claim to know it all. But I'm different. I'm different because I know my background. I have compassion for people. and I have the fear of God. The fear of God will make you not take money meant for the people, for constructing hospitals, and put it in your pocket. Because that ego hit the pocket is the reason why a woman will die for not giving birth. That money you pocketed is the reason why there will be accidents on the roads because of bad roads. My people, I've lived any experience that I'm telling you about, whether in my community where there is no more access to that place, or even in my personal life. I know what it means to start from ground zero. So when I look at a young man, I know what to do to make that young man rich because I started from nothing. I know what to do to put smiles on our face of our people because our people are not asking for much. Our people are not lazy. But for how long are we going to continue like this, allowing politicians to continue to put us as if I was in the Ndiohu? Today, I've presented myself to you and asked you to x-ray and find out about me. But one thing I hold there is my word is my bond. And what I say I will do, I do it. Let heavens fall. Bikonu. The time has come for us to do things differently. For it has been said that stupidity is when you keep the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. For once, let us try a different way. Are we not ashamed of the joy of our people in Abia State? The joy of our people in Enugu State? The joy of our people in... Can't we also experience that joy? Or in Hojo? Okorienta brother say, "Yomri Homa, Omri Homa Sonso, Ihoma Biakwana yo in Hojo." I'm Dr. Chima Amadi. Thank you so much. Please sit down.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Our own hardworking, diligent, determined, resourceful, enterprising leader, a reputable and renowned business mogul that has carved niche as a reputable businessman and juxtaposed it with art of philanthropy. You've heard from a man that has combined his erudition as a public intellectual and tenacity of a technocrat to affect his environment. Dr. Amadi Chima Matthews, a man I call a progressive servant of humanity, a man of refreshing effervescent candor, a true leader of leaders by doing, a highly cerebral cosmopolitan man with deep pocket, disarmingly unassuming, a progressive servant of humanity, an arbiter of hope to the less privileged, a treasure to humanity, a man that is simply sui generis as he belongs in the pantheon, distinctively his own. He has carved a niche for himself. You've heard from him the things he will do and take his word to the bank. That is who he is. Thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you so very much. You can do more. Put your hands together for this intellectually sound, vibrant, warm, witty, urbane, humane, and survey gentleman that cherishes good thing, a man that pursues good thing with clinical fineness and exhilarating panache. Thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate you.
Adima aine kele nwanna nwoke onye gosiri na ihe mmadụ ga-eji mepụta ihe wu na ọgụgụ isi. Ọtụtụ ndị echirila anya chi na mbụ adịghị ha n'aka laa. Ọ na-agba anya mmiri na n'okwu nchekwa obodo anyị ghere oghe anyị dịka onye gba ọtọ. N'okwu ọnọdụ akụ na ụba ebe a na-azụ ọkụkọ anyị emebichala. Ebe a na-arụ penti, ebe a na-arụ akpụkpọ ụkwụ, ihe ndị agwọtọọla. Mana Maazị Gburugburu ekwela anyị nkwa na Chineke weta ohere anyị na-achọ na ihe ahụ anyị na-achọ n'ụkọ elu anyị ga-enweta ya n'ụkọ ala. Ọ dịkwa m obi ụtọ dịka onye ọrụ mgbasa ozi na ọ bụrụ na Gburugburu bata ya na ndị mgbasa ozi ga-adị na mma, press friendly, n'ihi na ndị ma redio nọ ebe a, ndị Oziọma FM nọ ya, ndị Obi Ada Ada nọ ya, redio Nigeria nọ nga, Global FM, Groove, Skills, Ozista, na ọtụtụ ụlọ ọrụ mgbasa ozi ndị ọzọ tinyere Arise Television. Gburugburu anyị na-ekele gị maka icheta anyị.
TVC is also here. In fact, we appreciate and thank the members of the fourth rim of the estate. Thank you so very much for doing this wonderful job. We appreciate you.
Biko nwere ụgbọala abụọ nọchiri ụzọ ọ na gị nwe ha Imo DIM 470/1 nke ọzọ Ebonyi AKL 76PY. Biko mee ka ị ga butuo ya n'ụzọ. Thank you.
I would also like to recognize most notable personalities here that we didn't capture when we started ab initio. It is my singular honor to appreciate and recognize the presence of members of Dr. Chima Amadi movement, CAM, ably led by Honorable Nkem Kelechi. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you people. And I have also my own respectful, naturally kind-hearted, genial and amiable leader, Honorable Uche Obuago. I saw him here. Thank you so very much. The man that made it possible for me to be here today. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much, sir.
Anyị na-anabata otu nwaanyị ama ama n'okwu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị ma bụrụkwa ego achọ ego, Chief Dennis Okwu, sweet up. No,
that's our own resourceful brother, former chairman, Nigerian container customs and license agent dealers all the way from Port Harcourt. Or it's not easy having a prodigious son like our own uncle, leader, Sweet Apple. Thank you so very much. His smile is also contagious and infectious. We appreciate you, sir.
Biko Sigwagi, Honorable Ambassador Uche Ubuago Apatali Ubua, onye nwe my radio FM, former majority leader, Mohammed Assembly.
A man that commands general acceptability, a stickler for perfection. He doesn't have tolerance, zero tolerance for indolence and sloppiness, a symbol of enterprise. Thank you so very much. At this juncture, I would like to bring to the podium our own pathfinder, an iconic trailblazer, our own naturally kind-hearted, genial, amiable, a woman I call an admix of beauty and brain, a quintessential Amazon, an intellectual, inimitable intellectual gladiator, an enigma of truth, a beacon of hope and integrity, a woman that has inspired generation of scholars and intellectuals to their El Dorado, our own mother, Professor Edna Martins Njoko. You can see, of all the things that stands her out, the most profound is her never say die spirit. She is here. I saw her when she was shaking her head, when our own leader, our own His Excellency in the making, was reading out what he would do for Imolites if we truly vote for him when it comes that D-Day. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you, ma. Thank you.
When a colossus, when a giant has talked, I don't know what else to say. Dr. Amadi has said it all, but I want to begin by saying, if you're a woman and you're here, and you want a better Imo, and you want a progressive Imo, and you want an Imo that you will see and laugh, an Imo you will sleep and sleep well. Can you just get up and clap for Dr. Amadi? Biko, ihe m sewo, ihe awa ala Igbo, ihe m sewo, gị wụrụ nwanyị, onye Imo State, bilite kelere m Dr. Amadi. Ọwụ mụ. Kụpụrụ ya aka. Kụpụrụ ya aka ma ọ na ihe ọma na-adịghị mma ịwụrụ nwaanyị. Kụpụrụ ya aka. Ihe m ji si kụpụrụ ya aka o. Okwu a dịrị ndị nne. Ihe e kwuru taa ọ dịrị ndị nne. Ọwụ anyị na-ata ahụhụ ya. Ọwụ ndị nne na-ebe akwa ya. Ọwụ ndị nne ka ọ ka ewute na ihe siri ike. Unu ghọtara ihe m kwuru. Ihe anyị na-achọ n'Imo steeti. Ihe anyị na-achọ n'Imo steeti wụ onye ndị bekee na-asị ga-add value. A valuable person. We can have leaders, but we want somebody who can add value to Imo State. Adding value means, if you see his mantle, C, S, security, E, education, E, economy. What else? If we get a leader who can tackle this head on, why won't Imo State and East Indigens be smiling? The answer is here already. As far as I'm concerned, we have seen the answer. It's not left for you and me to go and work. We are tired of promises that never come to fruition. Those of you that know me, a good number of you have taught you, and I believe in action. I don't believe in rhetorics. He has given us the breakdown of the situation we are. And the situation we are in now needs a man like him. Be honest. Yes, politics is a game. I think we better begin being serious. We have to be serious to redeem our state. We have to be serious to redeem ourselves, redeem our children, and make Imo a more productive state. Whatever we have been doing, we want it to be done even best. I don't want to begin to refer to all he has said. He has given us all the figures. When he was talking, I was almost crying. Because when you don't know the details, you will pat yourself and think you're doing well. With the figures and the true picture of situations, I'm sure that when he was reeling out all those figures, everyone here was moved like me. And the big question you must have been asking yourself since you talked to us is, what do we do? What is the answer? Look no further. The answer is here. The answer is here. The answer is here. All I'm saying is, make it happen. Make it happen. I'm particularly interested in his speech because when you're a teacher, you build. He has a pedigree. He knows his onions. He has told us the pictures. He didn't lie. He put it out succinctly for you and me to understand that there is danger. We don't want to be left behind. You go to Lagos, you are happy. People made Lagos work. You go to other parts of the country, you smile. People made it work. Will it be a sin if we bring in our own son who will make Imo better? Would it be a sin? Would it be a sin? No. Would it be a sin? No. Then if you say no, start working. We are not here to condemn previous leaders. They've done their bits. Fine. But he has something to offer now that will put us in a better footing. We want to try something new. We are tired of the same story, the same group, the same persons, the same faces. I beg, una never tire. Una never tire. Make we change them. Let's change the music. Let's change the music. We will change also the dance steps. We will change the music and change the dance steps. There was something he said that touched me, and I felt bad about it. If you are as old as I am, you remember when Adabam was busy, Adabam was busy like an NPC. Adapam was as busy as an NPC. People who were doing businesses, they're making huge sums of money. God. What has happened? What has happened? When you go home, answer those questions. The shoe industry. The shoe industry. What is happening? Yes, we need good roads, but we want industrialization. Bagam. If we get industrialized, we will not be hungry again. Nobody will complain. Yes? When you're satisfied, you apply the roads very happily. You got to show you are happy. You will be very free. How are you? I say, I am fine. I wonder how many of us here that you will ask, how are you? You say, I'm fine. Bikono. Why I speak in English and I also speak in Igbo? So that ndị na-ama ga-aghọta ihe a na-ekwu mụ na gị. Mụ na gị. Everything that needs to be said has been said. The figures, the indices of measurement of growth have been laid down. We all went through primary schools. But now you know that when you go to a primary school, now you meet Indian Risho. Gari, rice. You don't blame the teachers. Oh, yes. When they are posted to where they should be, rent, maintenance, transport, and what have you, the teachers have to try and do something to help themselves. The state is not making as much money as it should. But with the blueprint he has given us, with the plans he has, if you calculated what this state will be generating, if we give him our nod, that means, in fact, Lagos will be a joke. Yes, we all want to live in Lagos. We all want to live elsewhere. Don't you all know that if Imo State is working well, why do you have to live here? Your properties are secured, your life is secured, the economy is working, your children are going to school. Government schools, by the way, is the best school. If you take time and go and study those so-called private schools that you and me send our children and grandchildren to, you will pity yourself. Your child will come back home with right answer being marked wrong. It has happened. One of my grandchildren came one day and said, hey, big mommy, hey, auntie, Leia. And when I looked at it, really, the place got it right. And I went to the school and just backashot the bagger. See, because if you had looked at the paper, maybe at that time, you were there, already here at school. Oh, yes. The children will bring something and just cancel it. Hey, we have what it takes to make this state a great state. Let's all have a rethink. let's all look inwards. What we are looking for outside is here. Is there here? Huh? Now we get them. Is there here? Oh, what is zone when they are? 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 What is zone? Other zones are Charlania. How about Alika? We give them their respect. How about Alika? I'm not here to condemn anybody, count me out. They've done their best. But want to say this time, Imo people, what is zone when mad? Or what is zone when Didiego? Or what is zone when Digura? Or what is zone when entrepreneur? Or what is zone when Digamaka? Imo State, Dremo na game man. That's all. All this noise. Well, we want a capable hand to drive the economy of this state. We want a sincere person to drive the economy of this place. We want a laudable son of Imo State, particularly from Owerri zone, that will do the magic to fill all these gaps we have seen. He has enumerated them. I'm not going to read them again. He has said all, and we're very attentive. There are gaps. There are gaps. And I believe that Dr. Amadi can fill the gaps. If I don't believe in him, I won't come here. You're not going to force me. I've heard him talk. I've listened to him. I've analyzed him. I've reasoned along with him. I've asked him questions. And he convinced me that if you and me, Olo, or Kigwe, Owerri, zones, give him your mandate, I stand convinced that he will make all of us happy. Imo mama omara munage alimo dimma odere munagi onyo bula biloto kai kwado Dr. Amadi maka n'Imo mama omara nyinile. Thank you. And as we go today, please, we have not come here for jokes. We've come here for a serious business. And see our young people here, when I look at them, sometimes when I'm sleeping, I think about what they'll be doing after. Some of you are my students at masters, at PhD, as undergraduates. Yeah. When you finish, if you don't believe in supporting a visionary character, tomorrow is bleak. It will be worse. Because tomorrow, let's plan tomorrow today. Let's protect tomorrow today. Let's do something for tomorrow today, and we'll be better off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so very much, our own
Thank
model,
you.
our own role model and mentor, Professor Martins Njogo. She has elucidated all our own leader and incoming George said that women are integral part of a great nation. And what she said reminded me of one of the greatest attributes of Margaret Thatcher, that said, if you want it said, ask the men. If you want it done, ask the women. Thank you so very much, ma. Thank you. God bless you. We have another notable personality, another highly cerebral, cosmopolitan man who is also here to share one or two things with us. We have another inimitable intellectual gladiator, Professor Protus Nathan Uzoma. If he's here, Professor Protus Nathan Uzoma, very young too, looking boyish and dapper in that outfit. Thank you so very much, my own board. Walking the gara gara. That's the quality of professors and leaders who want to parade. Like my own board said, he made us, when he made mention of nemo dat, quod dat, non habet, that you cannot give what you don't have. The Latin people will say, nemo quod non dat habet. Thank you, our own Professor Protus Nathan Uzoma. Just
thank you, Mr. Notable MC and Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that Mr. Chairman doesn't even know that I'm here. And I'm very happy that I came and I have listened to what Dr. Amade, the lecture he has given to us. And I keep thinking, you know, it's not time for campaign, but we have come to interact intellectually. Looking at his presentation reminds me of what Anthony once said. He who understands the hidden truth is a lonely man. But it appears that what Dr. Amade has said here today, for me, if I want to be objective, they exist in the realm of form. Because for him to get these things done, an opportunity will be given to him. But you see, he made a statement again, like John was talking. He said, with 8 or 9 degrees, I don't think I'm going to make a mistake. You see, one philosopher says that every knowledge is plagiarized, but it's only stupidity that is original. I said a philosopher once said that every knowledge is plagiarized, is copied. Yes. But what is original is stupidity. There is nothing that makes it impossible. And I want to say, for the sake of emphasis, absolutely nothing that makes it impossible for him not to actualize the things he has said here today. That is anchored on the acronym C. S, first S, security. Second X, education. Third X, economy. That brings in mind, Doc, one of the Greek elder statesmen who was highly respected. A woman went to her and said to him, rather, please, I heard that you are an educationist. I just had my baby 7 days ago. And I don't want my baby to go the way of the evil man in the society. Please, when do I start teaching my baby? Aristotle turned and looked at her and said, you mean you had your baby 7 days ago? She said, yes. He said, unfortunately, you are starting late. You are 7 days late already. You ought to have started that same day you had the baby. Doc, you have started at the right time. I will not say you have started late. But it is my prayer for you that the elementals, the goms, the arahatas, the psychic elements that cluster around the government house. Let me tell you the truth, and that is the absolute truth. in quote. Every person that has governed Imo State came with good intentions. But it appears that on reaching to the government house, will come in between. Esoterics will call it psychic element. And that is what actually that has kept us where we are today. I never believed in my life that today we'll be asking that Buhari should come back. I went to the market and a bag of rice today is about 80 something to 90,000 naira. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ibo, Mamanu. During his tenure of the former head of state, it was 30,000 naira. Okwezoku. Society grows. It's very dynamic. And we grow along with what we see in the society. People are suffering. Students cannot pay for books, even in schools. It is very good for us to have good government. Let me tell you, I must commend the efforts of the present governor of Imo State. Let me tell you, before I do adjunct, there is a place I do adjunct at Owerri. If you leave Owerri to go to Owerri now, it will take you only 30 minutes. True or false? That is true. If you leave from Owerri to Olu, you will also see that the road is fine. From Owerri to Okigwe, those of you who are lawyers, who are judges, you will bear witness to the fact that from Owerri to Okigwe now is less than 30 minutes as it used to be before. So that is an improvement. But at the same time, thank you, I am not a government appointee, but I must say that whoever, if God Almighty has prepared Dr. Amadi for this assignment, we have to pray so that whatever spirit that enters into anybody when he gets there will not enter into him. With that said, I must say I have enjoyed this interactive session. And Doc, you have to engage more with people. Engage people from time to time so that we'll be acquainted with some of your programs so that many people will be able to appreciate your efforts the more. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, there is an aspect I would have loved to say. That is the area of security. But I want to conclude it by saying, Aye, aga mekuo, aringe bohumo. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you, Professor Uzoma Anyekelelegi. Ebe anyị na-abanye ugbu a winye ndị mmadụ ole na ole ohere ka ha bịa jụọ ajụjụ. Ị nwere ihe mgbanwoju anya, o nwere nke na ịghọtacha ahụ, mana tupu anyị mee ka aha anyị na-anabata ụmụnne anyị ndị batara dịka mmemme na-aga n'ihu. Honorable Blind
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.
The Inspector General of Police has met with senior officers to review the state of security.
We are continuing our coverage of the arrest of Godwin Emefiele.
The Senate has summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to properly brief the Senate regarding the state of the economy.
What I will never take is threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News. First with breaking news.
Maya Angelou was a civil rights activist, poet, and award-winning author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young. Around